Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Hi, folks. Welcome back. And those of you that are new, welcome. Liberal Twitter rages at Trump for bringing water to Ohio after rail disaster. Blankety blank, Trump water. Oddly, Trump water is what his diaper valet calls it, anti-Trump. PAC founder Rick Wilson wrote. Yeah. Now, stay tuned for later in this video. You're going to see some real reporters ask Secretary Buttigieg why it took so long to get there. And you're going to see that the response from his press secretary is fascinating. Let's check out a little bit here of the story.
Announced Secretary Pete Buttigieg will visit East Palestine, Ohio, Thursday, almost 3 weeks after the train derailment that released hazardous chemicals into the air, ground, and water here.
It's way late in the game. I talked to Secretary Buttigieg, and I told him, leaders show up, and he hasn't been here. And that is sending a big signal to this community that the administration just really doesn't care.
The slow response by the Biden administration created an opportunity for former President.
Not only was a slow response by the Biden administration, I won't give him a pass on that. Well, it is what it is. But this guy actually went halfway around the world to Ukraine during the same time. That's the problem. And Buttigieg did what he always did. Nothing. Why? Because the people in that area don't interest him. They voted 71%. That county and the surrounding counties voted for Trump by 71%. They just don't care about the so-called flyover areas. They've been saying that for years and years. And now they're not hiding it anymore.
Hauling cleaning supplies and bottled water.
Somebody has to do something for those people, I said back. When I announced that I was coming, they changed their tune. It was an amazing phenomenon.
The deep, deep, deep hatred, toxic hatred for Donald Trump it's just not normal. I just like a lot of politicians. I can't stand Elizabeth Warren and Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, but it doesn't eat away at me from hatred. These people actually hate them. And when you hate somebody this much, usually the reason is fear. Fear that you're going to be exposed. If Donald Trump wins the presidency again, these people are finished. Their grift is over. And the bureaucratic deep swamp is in huge jeopardy. And they all know it. Lincoln Project founder Rick Wilson called Trump for donating water to his residents. Oddly, Trump water is what his diaper valet calls it. These are grown people collecting hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. And they see their gravy train is ending. There's a picture of the derailment. Isn't that something? Leftist Twitter influencer Joe accused Trump of causing the derailment, cursing out the former president online. I brought you whatever I had left of this blankety blank Trump water, but did my little point of boring things, photo ops, and threw some red hats at McDonald's workers. What a hoot. Have fun with the real disaster I helped to facilitate. Now they're saying because of deregulation, but we'll say all that is true. We'll say all of that is true about the deregulation. The first 2 years of the Biden presidency, he had the Senate, he had the House, and he had, of course, the Oval Office. If those things were such a priority and so dangerous, then why didn't they put them back, the regulations? That's a question nobody seems to be answering. So let's check out Savannah Hernandez, who's a real reporter asking real questions. Now you're going to see what real reporting looks like. This is Savannah Hernandez confronting Pete Buttigieg, and as he escapes and runs into the building, Buttigieg's press secretary acts very interesting. These people are lost.
Mayor Pete, why did it take you an entire 2.5 weeks to actually get here to respond to East Palestine? Will you apologize to the residents of this city for the
Did you see the look on Buttigieg's face? Looks like he just swallowed a bad oyster.
Slow response to the government. Slow response. You have any?
Now look and see what's going to happen when his press secretary, which is basically his mouthpiece to the American people, or his representative of the American people, listen to what she says.
Apology.
I'm a press person. I can help you.
Sure. So can we ask why it took him almost 3 weeks to get here?
I'm sorry. I don't want to do this on camera.
The press secretary of the Secretary of Transportation, the press secretary, let that sink in, does not want to be on camera. Think about that for a minute.
What was his personal time off while there was a tragedy happening here?
And can we also ask too why he waited until President Donald Trump came here to actually make an appearance? This is a very important question that people across America would like to know.
I'm happy to have a conversation with you. I do not want to be on camera.
Clueless, mindless, progressive nuts. They look at the look on her face. The press secretary does not want to answer questions on camera to reporters. I'll say that again. Let's let that roll around in your head for a minute or two.
Well,
Please put your cameras away.
I'm sorry, we're on a public area, so we are allowed as press.
You guys, I would like you guys to turn your cameras off.
You're
and
not
then
on
I'm
my
happy-
camera.
Well, I'm on a camera. I would like your cameras to be off, and then I'm happy to talk to you guys.
Well, if you're the press secretary of the Secretary of the Department of Transportation, don't you think you should be able to ask questions from the American public that you serve?
Absolutely. I would like to do it without the camera on.
I would like to answer questions without the camera on. These people are incredible. And they got the gall to say all kinds of slanderous names to Trump. Granted, Trump is not a perfect person. There's a lot to criticize, and there's a lot to praise as well. But look at this. Look at this. They can't answer questions because they know they're wrong. They've been caught screwing over and forgetting about thousands of people that were in jeopardy and peril from a chemical spill, but they happen to be Republicans, God-fearing, church-going, Second Amendment people who care about their family and their community in a flyover areas they call the United States. And they're embarrassed is why they're here. She won't answer questions on camera as the press secretary.
Can I ask why?
I think that is a little bit aggressive. That's why. And
Why
I just
is it
want you to have-
aggressive? I'm on behalf of the American people. I'm just asking why.
It's a little bit aggressive. I feel triggered. If you feel so triggered, then what the hell are you still standing there for? Clueless, mindless, cult, progressive liberals.
Why he has not been here until Donald Trump
She's
came.
asked them several times for them to turn the cameras off, and they will not do it.
Has been able to walk away. Would you like to go inside? I do not. I will walk this way.
Can I ask what the secretary is going to do with the picture of Jenny Kerr? He took her the other day.
Now, it's funny. Somebody asks a question, she stops walking. Isn't that fascinating?
When she was asking a
You guys
question
are
in Washington, D.C.
I'm happy to answer your questions. I would like you guys.
Then why are you still standing there? Why are you still standing there? I see she has a wedding ring on. I feel bad for her husband. Mindless and clueless. Empty inside, empty in your brain. Cult member robot. I don't want to answer your questions on camera, but I'll continue standing here to say I don't want to answer questions on camera. Well, I could have walked away quite a while ago. That's how ridiculous these morons are.
To not have your cameras on.
I had my camera off a minute ago. If I turn it off,
You all have your cameras on. I can see them. You guys. I'm happy to have this conversation.
All right, y'all. So we are with the press
Okay,
secretary
this
for Pete
is-
Buttigieg.
Now, great for her. This is Savannah Hernandez. She's finally had enough of the bull, and she's just going to step in and say what's going on. Now she is like, oh, I don't want what to do. I'm being triggered. You're in my space. You should have walked away a long time ago, moron. You should have went with your boss, the transportation secretary. If not, you're out here making yourself look like an ass.
Buttigieg, and right now we are being told that we are not supposed to be filming. Again, we are here on behalf of the American public because we would like to have the conversation and we would like to ask the question as to why, again, it took almost 3 weeks for Pete Buttigieg to be here on the ground. He waited until Donald Trump came here to actually be here and speak to residents. The people here have been quite tight-knit about when we can ask questions. And again, we're here on behalf of the American public, and we wish we could be able to ask these.
And there she is in the background, on camera, talking to, I was supposedly a reporter, with no camera. That way, whatever that reporter says she said, she can deny, of course, because it's not documented. That's how these people operate. You can say all you want about Trump. This isn't about Trump. This isn't about even Trump coming. This is about how huge swaths of the American electorate these people simply don't care about. They're invisible, and they could care less. Let's listen to the rest. There's not much.
These questions, but for some reason, we're not allowed.
And there it is. We're not allowed. We're not allowed. It's amazing to me. Amazing. So there it goes. Is this about Donald Trump, or is this about the ineptness of the Biden administration and the transportation secretary? As you can see there, Mayor Pete on his bike. Dun, 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 dun. Those of you who don't know that, that's the music from The Wizard of Oz with a Myra Gulch on her bike. It's amazing how just a visit to bring some water, some cleaning supplies, and buying a lot of Big Macs for people at McDonald's and passing out red Make America Great 45 hats triggers all these people. It tells you how shallow and how weak they are and how clueless they are. They have no clue what we're doing. Don't forget for a minute that the only reason why Pete Buttigieg is the transportation secretary is because he dropped out of the presidential race, which allowed Biden to smoothly go in. Make no mistake. He sold out his own principles for a job that he can't even do and isn't qualified for. I used to be a city councilman. I know what it's like to work and run in a city. And I've worked under 2 mayors when I was councilman for 8 years here in upstate New York. This guy is clueless. He couldn't even run South Bend, Indiana, ran that into the ground. And that's his qualifications. And this is the repercussions. All you Biden voters out there, this is what you voted for. Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.